with arms wide open. 92.1 WVTK, Addison County, Essex County's radio station. It is 8:46 on a Thursday morning. Bruce and Hobbs, your two best buddies from Fox 44 and ABC 22, meteorologist Steve Glazier. He's calling for mostly cloudy skies. We've got a chance of afternoon showers on the way. Today's high near 69. We've got 54 in Essex County, 53 in Addison County. And folks, if you have ever wanted to hear an inspiring story, this is one we're going to talk about right now. I am very honored to have Jason Davis. He is the founder and president of the Adaptive Martial Arts Association with me, and also Kathy Maxey Scarcello. She is the head consulting instructor for the Adaptive Martial Arts Association. And Jason and Kathy, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much for having us. We really appreciate the invitation. It's awesome.
Well, Jason, you have one of the most inspiring, amazing stories I have ever heard. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how your martial arts association and your work with martial arts all came about.
Well, thank you first for saying that. Well, I guess I got to start back a little further than that. I was born with cerebral palsy, and it was actually, my parents were told by my doctors that I probably wouldn't survive, and so I guess you'd say I've been a fighter since the day I was born. But I was raised just like my other brothers and sisters, just you know, if there was activities to do, I did them just like they did and was expected to do chores. And so I grew up not really thinking much about my disability. I just did things differently, that's all. And I really looked up to my older brothers, and they signed up for martial arts when I was 8. And I had said to my parents, you know, I want to do that too, because they were doing it and it looked cool. And so they said, sure, we'll call the school. And basically, they called the school, and over the phone, they were told, no, he's not going to be able to train, you know, because of his disability of cerebral palsy. And at that age, you know, 8 years old, I didn't understand. I was never told no before. We just did it differently, and it really was tough for me to be told no, and it kind of stuck with me, and it's still sort of tough to talk about today. You know, you get a little choked up when you talk about it. So I just kind of, you know, as I got older, I understood, you know, maybe the reasons for that. And, you know, because you figure, well, you got to punch and kick, and you got the crutches, and, you know, it all kind of added up. And I went on and did other things. I was a member of the Boy Scouts and got involved in the rescue squad as a teenager, did all the patient care, except for the lifting, and that's where I met Kathy, was on the rescue squad, and I knew she had a martial arts school, but, you know, I went back to what I was told, you know, that wouldn't be able to do it, and it kind of made sense, so I didn't even bring it up. And it wasn't until years later, when I was speaking with a co-worker over lunch, we got talking about martial arts, and he said, you know, I was going to be an instructor, but I couldn't afford the gi. And I said, well, you know, I was going to do that thing, but they said I couldn't. And he goes, well, that makes sense. I said, but you know what? I said, I think I'm about to do that now. He goes, you're crazy. That's crazy. How's that going to happen? I said, I don't know, but I know somebody that knows. And I sent a Facebook message to Kathy, and I said, look, you know, this is something I really want to do. I want to start training. Can you train me? And I'll let her tell you that other end of the story.
So, Kathy, let me bring you into this conversation. You are the owner of a small martial arts school in Pittsburgh, right?
That's correct, Rising Sun Martial Arts.
What did you think about when you heard Jason's story?
I wasn't surprised, having known Jason and having worked with him on the rescue squad. He grew up with my kids, so I really was pretty familiar with him, and my response to him was, Jay, anything you put your mind to, you could do, which has always been the case with him. When he showed up on my doorstep, though, was a little daunting. He literally fell down the stairs. Katie was behind him, and he literally fell down the stairs, and I'm not handicap accessible. So he literally drags himself up the stairs to do classes. Nothing was easy for Jason in martial arts from the very beginning. There were a lot of challenges, and to this day, we're still overcoming and working things through and finding different ways to adapt so that he can be stronger and do martial arts.
So Jason, you're going through this process of trying to learn martial arts. You're told by your doctors that you're going to need to take drugs for everything. And then you start doing the martial arts, and some amazing things start happening. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I started training, and when I started training, there was really no place to find of anybody that was training anybody with a disability. You know, we looked to try to figure this out, and we just couldn't figure it out. And so we said there needs to be a place, first of all, for people to learn how to do this, and second of all, for the disabled community to know that they can do it. And that's where this idea was born. We started here locally, and then it's now sort of moved into a national level. But you know, speaking about the doctors, yeah, when I started martial arts, I was set to go on a regimen of muscle relaxers for my cerebral palsy, and I said to the doctor, you know, please let me try martial arts before we try, you know, drugs, because drugs, you know, it's working to help the muscles in my legs, but as we all know, drugs affect the whole body, and I just really wasn't into that. And he said, you know what, you can try what you want, but in 3 months, you'll probably be on medication. He was like, this is quite frankly rather absurd to even think that martial arts is going to help. And that was 3 years ago, and now at my last checkup, he said the medication is not even on the table anymore, and he's very amazed at what martial arts has done for me.
Must have made you feel pretty good to prove him wrong, huh?
Yeah, that's kind of the way I've always been. Tell me I can't, and I'll show you I can, and that's just really how I live my life. I don't think about my disability so much, and it's tell me I can't, and I'll show you I can, and as you saw when we came in here today, you know, 5 minutes before airtime, and I'm showing up, and let's just kind of do the thing and roll with it. I guess I'm always kind of pushing the envelope, and I guess that's what's cool about it.
So, from your beginning in martial arts, then comes the Adaptive Martial Arts Association. Tell us about that. You were also just in Vegas, right, with this?
Yeah, we were in Vegas last year. As I said, the association was created as a place to be a resource for information for both the disabled community and martial arts instructors. Because to be quite honest with you, it's okay to be a little freaked out by you know, a disability, but we want to be the resource that has the information that can help you train students with disabilities, and you know, I want to be the person that offers some inspiration and say, you know, hey, have you ever thought of this? You know, you can do anything you put your mind to, and from that, basically, I was told when I started the organization from some other disabled agencies. You know, before we tell our clients about you, you're going to have to prove that there's an interest in martial arts, and you're going to have to prove that you have a national backing. And I said, okay, fine, thanks for your support. And I hung up the phone and called the largest martial arts company in the United States and said, this is what I want to do. I feel very strongly, and they supported it 110%. And I was actually offered to be a speaker at the 2012 Martial Arts Super Show, and I didn't make the cut. They said, are you sad or disappointed? I hate to tell you, you didn't make it. And I said, sad or disappointed? You gave me an opportunity. I said, but now I need to know how to get there. I said, can you tell me what it costs? And she said, oh, honey, it'll cost more than you'll ever be able to raise. I said, you don't know the Addison County and Rutland County community. I said, give me the numbers, and we'll be at the show in July. And she did, and we did local fundraising last year and showed up at the show, and it was very awesome.
So what's next?
What's next for the AMAA? To be honest with you, I don't know. It's kind of day by day. I mean, the major goal is to be the national organization for adaptive martial arts, and the place where you go when you want to know about what's going on in adaptive martial arts.
Well, I certainly appreciate both of you coming on the program. You really are a role model and a very inspiring story, not only to me, but to a lot of people. You
know, Bruce, and the thing I want people to understand, if you're listening, if you know somebody with a disability, if you have a disability yourself, there's nothing that you can't do. You just gotta put your mind to it. Accept the fact that you may do it a little differently. Align yourself with the folks that can help you, and just don't take no for an answer.
Well, thank you both for joining us on the show this morning. Jason Davis, the founder and president of the Adaptive Martial Arts Association, and also Kathy Maxey-Sarcello, the head consulting instructor for the Adaptive Martial Arts Association. See, I said it right after the fourth time. Guys, thank you very much for joining us this morning on the show.